What's up everybody, Frank here from Civ Armory, and this is the first video in the new shop, so forgive me, there's going to be a couple hiccups and a couple of glitches. I don't even have a monitor over here, so I can't even see what's going on. But I wanted to do a quick unboxing of a new product. Okay, I already opened it up, I already mounted it. I didn't think I'd have the studio set up in time, but it's the SLX-1X Micro Prism from Primary Arms. In the it's basically their CQB reticle. What are they calling it? They're calling it the ACSS Cyclops Gen 2 green. So I have astigmatism, so prisms have always been appealing to me because of the clarity that I get, but in reality the micro prisms aren't a true 1X. They're using different magnifiers within the housing to kind of give you that image as clear as possible. So you do get a little bit of like, not like a halo, but you do get like a little bit of offset, especially if you're using both eyes, where your left eye is seeing everything in its true 1X, and then your right eye sees it just slightly off. But again, if you don't have an astigmatism, maybe either it's not for you or you'll be able to dial it in a little better. Unfortunately, with my astigmatism, I'll use my actual glasses, my corrective lenses, and then kind of go from there, just to get it as clear as possible. But to kind of do like my history on micro prisms, I had a Swamp Fox Raider for the longest time that I thought had a problem because I was zeroing it with my right eye and then shooting with both eyes open, and I was off by like, I don't even know, I think it was 15, 16 inches at 100 yards. So that was not the optic, that was me, and so I have to sight in with my corrective lenses so that I'm seeing both things truly the same. So I like the micro prisms, but I do run a single red dot on a lot of my optics because it does kind of get rid of some of that, if you're having like the ACSS reticle in there, it might be too blurry for me without corrective lenses. Anyway, so I've already mounted this thing. I had some frustrations with the mount, I'm not gonna lie, but I just wanted to kind of go over it with you real quick here, all right? All right, so here we have the Primary Arms SLX-1X Micro Prism, all right, with the ACSS reticle in green, all right, and then also just kind of like a quick summary of the riser parts that come with it. All right, so you've got your basic, your leveled mount, zeroed mount, and then you can add a riser and then one of the arms. And if you notice that each arm, the thicker it gets, the longer out it goes, which gives you, in my opinion, a weird mount. I just don't like it. I'd prefer if they had maybe another, maybe a 6 that was just a straight mount that gave you that, that 2.075 inches. I wish they had maybe a straight mount just like 5 to get you to that height without needing to come back like almost 3 inches. It's crazy. So I'll show you here on the firearm in just a second what it actually looks like. All right, so in the box, all right, your typical Primary Arms stuff, your warranty cards. All right, and I do like that they give you your manual as well as, you didn't see that very well, did you? All right, so you have a manual as well as just your optic manual, which is pretty cool because it gives you, reference on the ACSS Cyclops. All right, so, it's pretty cool, the reticle. I've always liked these types of reticles. You can make your adjustments based on the chevron and your distance. Anyway, it's a pretty nice feature so that you can understand the reticle a little bit better. All right, installation tools. All right, and then extra hardware that comes with the mounts as well as the optic cover. All right, so And these are the riser extensions that I was talking about. All right, so the idea is it would mount here, come further back, and put your optic here, which I'm not a huge fan of. I wish they would provide, again, like I said, one more option for you to just go, you know, straight mount. So, because of how much I dislike that mount, I did a couple things here. This is not how this mount is supposed to be. Again, the front of the firearm is on this side, the rear is on this side, as you can see. So ideally, not ideally, but the way they had it designed is it would be flipped and the optic would be coming further back here, which I am not a fan of because I think it looks strange. Maybe that's just me, but again, I think it looks strange. This does not look any better. So I went ahead and ordered a Unity mount for it, and we're gonna go ahead and test that. All right, but what I do like here is the dials. All right, so it's shake awake. So it's very nice. So it's gonna auto timeout. You have your what's it called, Doppler, your adjustment here, so you can get that image more focused, because remember the magnifiers do use, or I'm sorry, these prisms do use magnifiers internally. All right, your adjustments, all right, flush, no caps, not bad. I tend to like that because at the range I take caps off all the time and it gets a little bit annoying. Let me see if I can raise this up a little bit here. All right, so on the opposite side here, all right, now when comparing the SLX to the GLX is going to have buttons here instead of the knob and battery, and your battery is going to be up top on the GLX, which I think, you know, looking back, I would have sprung the extra $50 or so and picked up that option, just because I like a more streamlined optic with, you know, as little, you know, manual dials and knobs to get kind of, you know, messed up, bumped. And I do hear that there are some issues where people are saying that the cap comes loose after adjusting it for a while. But, you know, again, we'll put it through some paces at the range and be able to give you a better, you know, better feedback on that. And for a price tag at around, I say around, I think they're just under 300 for these. It's not terrible. So at the price tag around 300 bucks for these things, you know, plus or minus depending on when you get them. You know, if you are interested, and I can always quote you a price on them. But at that price, I don't think it's terrible, considering that you know, the glass is clean, it's durable. I just wish that there was a different optic, like a different riser, because you now have to go purchase another one, and I don't like spending that much money and then having to go and buy something else for it to work the way you want. All right, so you can see I like a very high mount. You know, I don't know if it's just me getting old, but I don't like to move my head down like this to see an object. I'd rather be straight on, so that it's the same as me just, you know, just talking to you normally, engaging normally, and then I don't have to go very far to put my dot on target. But looking through it at the moment, I mean, this thing is crystal clear. I love the way the green looks. My eyes just pick it up a little bit better again, and that's with the Stigmatism. I love that. It's very good. I do see a little bit of sizing. The sizing here through this is a little bit off. When I look through both eyes, it does look slightly blurry on my left eye. But again, that's just my astigmatism and, you know, dialing this thing in so that you can see it better. Anyway, I've been ranting and rambling. I think that I do approve of this SLX if you can get them on sale, if you have astigmatism, if you just love 1X. I would say sure, But I do think that for the price, I mean, you can get the MD25, which is their dot, or you get the MD25 with the same reticle, I believe, for around 200. If that's the case, 200 to 220, something like that. If you can save 50, 60 bucks and have that dot, I don't know. It takes T2 footprint, so I think that there are more mounting options, and Primary Arms even has a good riser on a riser for that optic, and I think it's only like 50 bucks. So anyway, you have some other options. I'm not trying to, you know, trash or bash this thing. I don't hate it. I am going to stock these, and I am going to run this specifically with my Unity mount to keep it, you know, in line right here, and then have the ability to put a magnifier on the back if I really, really wanted to. So I just think it needs a little bit more work. Again, the GLX might be the better option for the money. So, you know, take a look at that if it's worth it. If you have cash, the extra 50 bucks for probably a slightly wider, slightly better optic, I'm on board for it. So that's it. I appreciate you sticking with me through this in the new shop and studio, and I'll be updating this here as we go, and hopefully get some better lighting and some better equipment in here. All right, guys, take care. Don't forget, check out the website, civarmory.com. Follow us on YouTube and Rumble. It helps if you watch the videos. Obviously, it helps watching all the way through. Give it a like, and follow us on the Facebook page because we're always doing promotions and sales. All right, guys, take it easy. Bye.